Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there?
Welcome to All the Shit with Tom and Will. This is the Quick Hit Weekly.
What's up, Tom?
What's going on, man? Yeah, we're
back at it again, baby.
Back at it again, man. Back at it again. Sometimes, just can't wait. Got to get right back into it. Get that conversation rolling.
Dude, you got to strike while the iron's hot. As I said previously on previous episodes, opportunity waits for no man. So here we are.
Hey, cliches are back. Yeah,
back,
buddy.
Baby. I'm back.
Did you pop a couple baby aspirin before we got this episode rolling here?
9,000 milligrams of ibuprofen. So what's going on with you, man?
Nothing big. I just, I've been enjoying spending time with my wife over the past few days, and it's been. I think part of it is, I mentioned a couple episodes ago that we're right in the time 1 year from my best friend passed away, and so I've been thinking a lot about him, been thinking about his wife and his kids, and. It's just really put it's really helped me see how valuable this time is. Mm-hmm. And so I'm, doing my best to spend as much quality time with Anna as I can. And it's funny, like, I love doing it, but I'm also one of those guys that is constantly putting my foot in my mouth. And so
no, you?
Yeah, go figure.
I'm shocked, Tom.
Yeah, no, I have my foot in my mouth constantly. It feels like so. Doing a lot of home projects, right? Like, and I think it was on the episode where Caitlin tried to call you and you had to answer the phone. And I was telling you that Anna had done something similar, was calling me to figure out the dimensions of her garden and all this stuff. So we're doing some home projects. We just put this little garden in, whatever. And we're just outside in the garage, and I forget even what we were talking about exactly, but it was almost like I was talking to you, like just in that friendly banter way, like.
Yeah. Yep.
So I dropped an OnlyFans reference on her.
She did not approve, I assume.
She didn't know what it was, and so
really,
we went out to dinner. We were watching something on TV, and something happened, and she was talking about, that's so inappropriate, and I was like, well, it's it's just like OnlyFans, and she was like, what? For anyone who might be listening, for my mom, because I know she doesn't know either. OnlyFans is like a online platform where you can sign up for an account and film yourself doing whatever you want, and people who want to see you doing that thing can pay you money. So Will and I joke a lot about, we'll see some old dude that was a former bodybuilder and he's still like wearing the short shorts and the string top tank, and we'll just make a joke like, oh, it's, he's advertising his OnlyFans page or something like that. So I just made a joke like that to Anna, and then I had to explain to her what it was. And she was like, I can't believe that's a thing. And I was like, well, I fully support it. Not as a paying customer,
right.
I support the idea that if that's what you have and you can make more money doing that than making minimum wage flipping burgers because you don't have an education or whatever the case might be, I'm not going to look down on anybody who's doing what they can to make money to support themselves and their families. If they're okay with it, then it's fine by me. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Who are we to judge them? And let's say it's somebody that is educated, but they have severe, crippling social anxiety. And it's easy to talk to a computer, talk to a camera, type, but being out and in front of people is another different thing. I'm very thankful for OnlyFans. Let's be honest, Social Security is probably not going to be a thing when we retire, so that's kind of my exit plan. That's why I got to stay fit, man. That's why I got to stay fit.
That's what it is, huh? That's what it is. Yeah, your OnlyFans subscriber count's going to match this podcast, I'll tell you that.
Well, it'll grow in time. It
struck me how differently we see the world, and how for her, like, stuff like that is not even a thing. And there have been a handful of instances where we'll be in a conversation with friends, or she'll bring up something that she heard at work, and I'd be like, oh yeah, what about blah, blah, blah? And she's like, well, you know what that is? I'm like, yeah, everybody knows what that is. She's like, I have no idea what that is. Can you explain it to me? It's just like, and it's
That's
usually
awesome.
Something beyond the pale. It's something a little bit risque or whatever,
Yeah.
And I just find it humorous. But I also, realize that I have to sometimes walk on eggshells a little bit. I don't want her to think that I'm just a man of the internet and in the dark of the night. You know, it's all culturally relevant, common knowledge that you would encounter in day-to-day conversation. I don't know honestly how she avoids it, and so that's part of it too. Is just like constantly educating her, and her being completely blown away by the savagery and absurdity of humanity.
Yeah, that's funny. I can't remember what specifically, but Caitlin and I just had a conversation about, some salacious online thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of it. I don't participate in it, but I'm aware of it, and that was a funny conversation I think we had when we were on vacation. But I want to dig in on something you talked about. So you were, in a way, I think, not to put words in your mouth, but you almost broed out with your wife, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do that all the time. And we have friends that drives the wife crazy. It drives her absolutely crazy.
Wait, it drives her crazy to see you guys do it, or it drives her crazy when her husband tries to do it to her?
It drives her crazy to see me do that,
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm like, I call Caitlin bro and son and stuff all the time, and I'm just a bro, man, so that's who I am. I'm not going to change that. I don't care who likes it, who doesn't. And it's just kind of like a weird, cute inside thing almost. And so, it doesn't bother Caitlin. She ribs me back all the time, sometimes more mercilessly than I rib her. But how's that go in y'all's relationship? What's Anna's perspective on that? And, how's that kind of play out in your household?
Oh, dude. I mean, we're like 12-year-old kids most of the time, and
Awesome.
to me, if you're calling your wife bro and it's a friendly banter, to me that's a sign of a healthy relationship, right?
Right.
Because that's the same way we talk to each other. It shows, yeah, we're friends, but we also have sex. It's a cool little thing. But we do that all the time. Like the other night, she calls me her Arctic fox because I've got like my beard is skipped gray and goes straight to white. Right?
That's awesome.
So she calls me the Arctic Fox, and so she was getting ready for bed the other night, and she was just annoying me, like poking me, and like like the I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, like that kind of shit. Yes. So she's doing that, and then she says the Arctic Fox thing is making a joke, and I just looked at her and I'm like, what does the fox say? And this is
yes.
This is another one of those references where she was like, What do you mean? What do you mean? And so
did you do it?
Yeah, I started making some noises, and she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And so she's getting ready to go to bed, and I tuck her in because then I go and I stay up for a couple hours reading or watching TV or whatever.
Right.
But I went and got my phone and I pulled up the video of that song.
Yeah.
And I went back in the bathroom and cranked that thing up and started playing it. And she was like, "Oh, I do know this song. Don't play that. I won't be able to go to sleep. Don't play that song."
Get it stuck in her head. That's awesome.
So then I cranked it up even more, and I started dancing and doing all the noises. And then within like 10 seconds, she was dancing with me, and we were both just in the bathroom singing and dancing to the
acting
stupid
silly
song.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. Like those little spontaneous moments are like it's pouring
the good
gasoline on the fire of a marriage, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's awesome. Yeah, not to mention like a strategically placed bro, can really kind of soften the blow when you say something stupid and you realize you shouldn't have. Like, screw you, bro. No, I'm totally kidding. I don't condone that.
That doesn't bail me out in those situations.
No, not at all. No. My wife usually resorts to physical violence at that point.
Yeah, sometimes she'll do that too, and she'll feign physical violence, like kind of fake, like she's gonna hit me or whatever. But occasionally she'll be like chopping vegetables or something with a knife in her hand when she does that. And my wife does not have the greatest spatial awareness.
Yo, Caitlin does the same thing. I'm like, you're gonna freaking stab me in front of the kids.
Yeah. If she's got a knife in her hands and she does something, I'm backing up. I'm flying out of the way. It's like a dog seeing a snake and just jumping out of its skin.
Yeah, the old spatial awareness thing is. I've been caught on the wrong end of that a couple times. Fortunately, not with a knife. a knife yet. But, you know, she'll swing at me and like punch me in the freaking nose accidentally, you know, like she was trying to fake me out, but she connects or the jaw or the eye, you know, and I'm like, good God.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, like you said, you have friends that have seen you guys interact like this, and obviously probably not many coworkers, right? That have been in proximity to see that side of you guys.
Yeah.
And so it's the same instance with us, obviously. The other thing about Anna is that she's very prone to bruising, so she bruises very easily. And so
does
Caitlin. Anna will go to the gym, and if you do cleans, right, you're gonna have bruising all over your collarbone. You could catch something in your neck and have scratches. She'll bump her head on the pull-up rig walking by. Who knows? She doesn't even know how they happen, right? But she'll go to work, and people will be like, "Is he hitting you?"
Like seriously asking.
Yes,
that.
They're very serious about it. And she's like, "No, I ran into that," but that's the excuse that a lot of
I know
real
that's the
situations
crazy
have.
part.
It's like and so it's like sometimes I'm just like, these people need to meet me and they need to see us together, because otherwise I feel like the cops are going to be coming around just kind of sniffing on a whim. And I don't want to
just so everybody's aware, that's not the type of dude Tom is. He doesn't have it in him. He's not built that way. Now, me, I could be pushed. No, I'm just joking. But no, Caitlin will do the same thing. Like, you can literally poke her and she will bruise.
Yeah.
It's
like
crazy.
An overripe peach. She'll cut herself. She'll do, it's just like, my God, must be a terrible husband. But yeah, it's funny how other people can perceive your relationship just by observing passively certain elements, right? Yeah. So,
the thing that just real quick before you shift gears, the thing that gets me with that is like these friends of ours, they have known me since I was early 20s, so like, guys, I haven't changed in the past 20 years. You don't honestly think I'm going to change at all, do you, in this regard?
So who's the friendship relationship based on? Like, do you know the guy or?
Yeah, the guys. So it's a group of guys from college, basically. There's like four of us. We've known each other since, I don't know, like 2000, 2002, something like that.
Dude, I mean, one thing that drives me nuts when I see couples is the overuse of babe. I hate that.
I did that very early on, only for a short period. And it's funny because my wife, she'll say like, I still remember to this day the first time you called me Caitlin because it sounded so weird. I was like, I guess that's when shit was over.
Honeymoon?
The honeymoon is over, baby.
Yeah. For some reason, man. And I think what it is it's so ubiquitous that every other guy she's dated, every other girl I've dated, babe this, babe that, and now I'm just like, no, that's not me. I'm your guy, not some babe down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I hear that from other people, it drives me nuts. And occasionally she'll let one slip, and she'll be like, "Hey, babe, can you?" And I'm like, "Did you just babe me? Did you babe me?"
What are we, 13?
Hard pass. You're not talking to me then. I'm not babe. So
who's your babe? What's his name?
Jared? You're doing that yourself. Yeah. So
that's funny. Yeah, I'm not gonna roll in and be like, "Hey, babe," or "Hey, bae." I'm more likely to roll in and go, "What's up, motherfucker?"
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm what I am, my friend. I am what I am.
Totally my MO. Absolutely. It's been really good, to have that time. We spend every night pretty much. When she gets home, we'll go out on the back porch and just hang out and talk. Sometimes I do tend to get a little tied up in either doing crossword or flicking through Instagram or something on my phone. And that, I don't know how do you guys deal with that? How do you deal with phone time when you're together?
Not great.
Yeah.
At all.
So, like, not great in what sense?
Like, it is just rampant and out of control most of the time. We usually do pretty okay at dinner. And I know Caitlin makes a point during the day, when I'm not there to not spend a lot of time on her phone and really engage with the kids and stuff. But in the evenings, I mean, it's when everybody's winding down, it's pretty rampant. It could be better. It's not like, I don't think it's damaging relationships or the development of my children or anything, but like many things in life, I think it could be better.
Yeah, we're trying to set more boundaries like with that, like making porch time, phone free time, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I think it's really important because it does allow you to connect. The thing that drives me crazy about it though is a lot of times I feel like it's a double standard, right? So like we'll both be out there scrolling through shit, sending each other funny reels on Instagram or whatever. She'll get bored and be done, and then like literally she put her phone down 10 seconds later she's like, I just wish you would talk to me. I'm like, we were literally just sitting here on your phone.
Just doing it, yeah.
You know, moving it at your speed of life is not my MO.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a thing in my house called Tom Time. And what that means is I do things on my time. And I don't know if we've gotten into this before, but you know, one of the other things that we will typically fight about is, hey, can you do this or that today? Yeah, absolutely I can. She gets home 2 hours later, it's not done. Ugh, how could I trust you to do anything if you're not a man of your word? This is not done. And I just have to, you know, we used to have big fights about it. But now I just say, you know, it'll get done on Tom Time. It'll be done today. It'll be done in a reasonable amount of time. I'm just not going to drop what I'm doing at this moment to do your bidding.
So it's almost like Tom Time's your safety word.
Well, it would be, except for it really annoys her. So it's more like lighting her fuse and like. You know.
Oh wow, we could go deep with that one, I think.
Oh yeah. We do have a safety word.
Yeah.
It's not really a safety word, but have you ever had a shitty day and you come home from work and you're just like on the verge of blowing up at the first thing that moves? Yes.
No.
Yeah. So, right. That's everybody does. So
yeah, absolutely.
That was another thing. She would come home and she would have had a shitty day, and that's what usually when that would come out, right? Usually she's fine. She's like, oh, all right, shit didn't get done, whatever. But if it was on a tail end of one of those days and something wasn't perfect when she got home, it was just like she was looking for the thing that she's going to be able to let all of that anger out. And so in those instances, saying Tom Time is a horrible idea, I've learned.
Yeah.
But what we do now is that if I'm leaving work and I have that feeling, or she's leaving work, she has that feeling, we'll text a pirate flag emoji to each other and just be like, that's the
the
alert
skull
that,
and crossbones.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Oh,
bad mood
brilliant.
coming in hot. Make
Don't
sure
jump
you
on
are
me as soon as I walk through the freaking door.
Yes,
Dude, I might steal that. That is solid.
Yeah, it works really well because it not only does it give the partner at home a heads up that, hey, not in a good mood, not a good time, go find something else to do when I get home for a few minutes. But it also makes you realize, oh, all right, what am I really angry about? Let me work through this on the drive home, and let me just try and put some of this out of the way. You know, so it helps you be self-policing in that way, which has been really helpful.
Absolutely. And you know, another similar piece of solid advice I've given to other like new parents that are in similar situations to me, where it's kind of like the wife and the mother stays at home with the kids and the father works and then comes home. Not that either job is easy, but there's stresses on both sides of that. They were really surprised because they've been married for a while, and the addition of the baby, and then, you know, it more frequently they got blindsided when they walked through the door and after that bad day or whatever, you know. And it was, if you're able to and you can manage it, when you get almost home, pull over for 5 minutes and center yourself. Try and focus on what's really important to you and what matters, and think through that. And then that bad day tends to melt away, and you're more prepared to deal with whatever happens when you walk through the door.
Yeah, I think that's great advice for any type of relationship. You know, if you're in a bad mood and you're about to see somebody, I think it's very hard to police yourself in that moment, right? To be like, I just want to get home. I don't have time to sit here and think about this for 5 minutes. But the long term, the long game, right? The results matter so much.
Yeah. No, but I really like the pirate flag. That makes the other person aware. That is I am going to start using that.
Yeah, it's been really good. I think the hardest part, and the reason that it caused a lot of fights initially, is because if I don't know that you've had a bad day and you come home and then you say something that to me is inflammatory, my initial reaction is, it's the human reaction of defensive. Like, what the fuck where'd that come from? What did I do?
Yeah.
I've been home for 30 minutes. What do you expect me to do? You know?
Well,
And so that's the defensive, and then it escalates
Right.
and takes off from there,
Yeah.
right? If I know heads up, she's in a bad spot, and she says something like that, I'm already prepared for it, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I've dug my foxhole, I've got my trench, I'm just gonna hunker down and let this barrage blow over, and then when I stick my head up, be like, "You all right? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Let's go
Yeah,
sit on
and
the
I
porch
mean-
and relax."
The thing to remember is give yourself, give each other some grace, be patient. We're all human. We're all imperfect. And, for the most part, despite our best, efforts or wishes, we tend to judge other people other than ourselves by their actions. And we tend to judge ourselves by our intentions, which are always better than our actions, and so that's something that you need to keep in mind too. I'm judging you and I'm getting short with you, Tom, based on your action, what you're doing, what you're saying. And, I'm giving myself more grace because I'm judging myself on my intentions, and I'm not looking at my actions critically.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a great point. I've never thought about it that way, but of course, yeah. I'm always going to be on my own side, first and foremost, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Because you mean well. How it comes across to that other person, if you ask them, I bet it didn't come across as good as you intended,
Yes. Yeah. So, coming home on a Black Flag Day, I'm not going to start dancing and singing "What Would the Fox Say?" That's going to be ill received, and
you'll be the one that ends up with the black eye.
or a knife, right? Yeah. Shiv right in the eye. Yeah, man. No, marriage is a tricky game, but it's really just learning to negotiate a relationship and understand each other's ebbs and flows. I mean, it's no different. It's a lot different, but on the level of managing the relationship from a compatibility standpoint, it's not that much different from just your best friend, right? There's going to be times where you're with your best friend and that person absolutely pisses you off. You don't want to talk to him. You don't want to be around him, but you still fucking love him. You're still going to be there for him,
but
and it bounces back.
In that situation, it's a lot easier to put time and space between, and if you're the type of person that tends to hold a grudge or take time to get over it, it's a lot easier with somebody that you don't live with.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I don't know if you do this, but I am a chronic litigator in my mind. So if I feel like I've been wronged or slighted, I'll be angry about it and we'll have our fight and go our separate ways. I'll spend the next 3 to 4 hours relitigating that thing, building my case, and prepared to go back into battle and lay it all out and be like, here's the case. This is why you're wrong. And this is why I'm right. And you need to apologize, And that will never be a good outcome.
No.
So I've never done it. I've never actually gone back and relitigated unless the same situation has occurred multiple times. But coincidentally, conveniently, anytime I bring up, this is what happened last time, she's like, I don't remember that. That never happened before. You're making this up. So in either case, there's no point in it. And I wasted so much time relitigating stupid arguments that have no value, whether I'm right or wrong. And it's just learning to let the small shit go, man. Just let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do something similar but different. I won't say like I relitigate in my mind or in actuality. I have a long memory, right? And it's hard for me, like, if I'm pissed about something, to just let it go. Because I'm like, no, F that noise. But there's no reason. I could be wrong. And if I relitigated and saw that in my mind, and had the mental presence and clarity to be like, yeah, dude, you're wrong. But no, it's a shortfall in my personality. Like, once I'm there, I'm just like, no, F that. But
yeah,
no,
that's the difference.
similarly, I try not to.
I'm just never wrong. So it's, I don't run that
Never.
risk.
Yeah. Well, good, man. That's good stuff. I got to be honest. When you first said, you kind of went down the course of, mentioning your wife and spending time with her, I almost was like, is everything okay? Because there was almost like an angst in your eyes that I could see. But, in actuality, it was a very positive thing, right? And you were talking about your time together and those funny, kind of sweet little moments that nobody else sees, but, are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, man. I'm always a little bit hesitant to talk about it just because I don't know, for example, you could have been like your buddy. or his wife is just like, oh, I don't want to hear about that, like. But it's a part of me that I like to share because it does bring me so much joy, and I think there's so many people who are in unhappy marriages that are trying to just follow the marching orders, do the right thing, stay out of trouble. But I think there's value in getting dirty, right? There's value in having constructive arguments. But the real key is just learning how to have a constructive argument versus just a screaming match. And more important than that is learning when to let shit go that really ultimately doesn't matter.
Yeah, and some of that stuff, whether it's good or bad or fun or not in the moment, is really endearing. And, to take it back to one of your favorite movies, Good Will Hunting, right? When he is talking about his wife who has passed away and passing gas in her sleep, it's just that silly little thing, but it was so endearing, and, it was just between him and her. Not even her. She was asleep. She didn't know. But, those are the things that, add real value, no matter how silly they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope that over the course of our conversations, we'll continue to share more wins like this. I know, of course, there's always going to be opportunities for us to, talk about, hopefully, if it's bad stuff, it'll be us discussing our shortcomings or calling each other out on those shortcomings. Always supportively, but, I think it's important to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. So
yeah, man, we're not here to wife bash or anything. I don't think that's who we are or how we roll. And it's been my experience that we've always held each other accountable, so I would expect nothing less. Yeah,
man, absolutely. Well,
cool.
Thank you for listening to my stories, spinning some yarns. So
thanks for sharing. I really enjoyed another great conversation, man. I can't believe it's been 30 minutes already.
Yeah, buddy. It's been 30 minutes, but time flies when you're having fun, right?
Indeed it does, my friend. Indeed it does.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, when you introduce Caitlin to the old pirate flag, let me know how she responds and how that goes over for you guys. I'll be curious to see if it works as well for you as it has for us.
Absolutely. I'm going to get home pretty late to probably just get Lily in bed and crash out myself. But it's definitely happening tomorrow or this weekend. So
yeah, man, I'll look forward to hearing about that.
I'll let you know how that goes.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, kid. Well, have a great rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you when I see you. I'll be on the road next week, but yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Take care. Safe travels. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, buddy. Take care.
Bye.